Hello, everybody. We are going to introduce our biome research project today. And this is something that we'll do over the course of the next few days. But the main goal today is to introduce what the project is all about and the requirements for it. So we all know that we have done school projects where we do a poster and it's just kind of this run-of-the-mill white poster with handwriting and it's kind of put together rather quickly. This is not that. What we refer to this is a experience display poster. So the way that I describe this to students is we want someone to be able to walk up to your poster and feel like they are in the rainforest. Feel like they have to put on a jacket because they are in the tundra. Feel like they got to swat mosquitoes because they are in the tropical rainforest. And then the secondary thing that we will do is the research part where we include the information about the biome. So what you'll do is you will join up with a partner or partners for this, and you're going to sign up for a specific biome. Once that biome is taken, that's it for the hour. We don't want to have multiple people doing the savanna or multiple people doing the coral reef. We just want to try to get as many of these as possible in our class. And so if you are going to be gone, instead of doing the actual poster, you're going to do some kind of brochure. Now, as it says, I don't care about the format of that. The only thing that I do want to be able to print it out. But you can do it on Canva. You can do it as a Google Doc. You can do it as a Word document. That part I don't care too much about. What's important, though, is that you have the information that is required. So speaking of that, one of the other things, too, that I want to make mention of is when we say poster, it doesn't have to be a rectangle. It doesn't have to be a square. We've had people that have done like a mountainous region and done the whole poster as a mountain. We've had people that have done it in like the shape of an iceberg, a shape of a bear, a shape of a big leaf, big tree. So those are options that you have. It doesn't have to be a rectangle or a square. So one of the things that you're going to be emphasized on in this project is your creativity, as well as the accuracy of information of your biome. So if you take a look at, the list, and you guys all have access to this document, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but again, you can include some of like the famous, organisms as part of the poster, the famous, plants, animals. If there's a lot of mushroom, fungi, peat grass, whatever it is, that's completely fine, and it's encouraged for you to do that. So this image just kind of gives you an idea of it. We don't want it to be a run-of-the-mill poster. In terms of the paper that you'll use for this, you're going to use those big reels of paper. So there's a lot of different colors up there. So when you get into the assembly of your poster, if you want to go check out those colors first, that would probably be advised more than, we'll just do it in this and then do a bunch of coloring. I also have a bunch of paint available for you in the middle closet. Just make sure that if you use that, please clean up like really good so that there's no paint, there's no brushes, there's no anything that's left over. We don't want the room to be a complete mess from day to day. So just be organized with that if you would. Okay, so what are the main things that you have to include on your poster? So here it is. You'll all have a title of your poster. All of this information will be typed, and then we will have you share that and then print it out for you. So the para will be a big help in that. The sub might have access to it, but you'll just have to kind of play that by ear. So anyway, the things that you want to include. The name of the biome is mentioned. Location. So what a lot of students do on this is they'll print out what's called a range map and then also say it in words. You can choose to do these things in bullets or paragraph form or a combination. That's fine with me. But one of the big things on this, and I will not be very friendly with this, you are now in your second semester of sophomore year. You have done projects like this before. And so we want to make sure that we have information, not just tiny bullets, not just little tiny sentences. I will grade heavily on this. And so you want to make sure that you're putting together a good product. And speaking of that, those of you that maybe have a lower test score, or struggle with taking tests, this is a really good opportunity for you to up your grade because this is a non-test score that will go in the grade book. All right, so kind of take advantage of that if you're not the best test taker. Okay, so location, as I mentioned, it could be a map and then a paragraph saying, it's near the coast, it's in this latitude, it's in this type of region or this type of area. Weather and climate. So weather is, does it get rain, snow, sleet, hail, or does it just get snow? Is it a combination? Where climate is, what are the overall precip and temperatures of that area? Another thing that goes into this is, does this biome have seasons? Are there 4? Are there 2? Or is it just one season? Animal life. Now, what we don't want on this is we don't want thousands of things listed. What we want is, do we have a lot of mammals, a lot of birds, and what are some of the what are called keystone species of that area? So like if we're doing our area, like in Minnesota, like where we are in Goodhue, we might say that we're part of what's called the temperate forest. So the main animal life would be things like we're heavy in mammals, we're heavy in birds, we have quite a few insects, and then what are some of those main types of mammals, of birds, of insects that we have in our area? Same thing with plant life, we don't need a whole laundry list. What do we have the most of? In our neck of the woods, the keystone species are oak, maple, basswood. So those main types of oak would be like red oak, bur oak, white oak. And then plant life, is it silver maple? Is it Norway maple, American basswood? So that's where you kind of start generalized and then give specific examples of the keystone species. All right, the next one is landscape, landforms, and soil. What I mean by that is, if you're doing a rainforest, does it have mountains, plains, valleys, mesas, islands? And then, overall, is it covered with rivers, lakes, ponds? That's what I mean by landscape and landforms. And then soil is what it sounds like. Is it a layer of soil that is thick and rich with humus? Is it nutrient poor? Is it rocky? Is it sandy, silt, clay? Those are just kind of some examples. And then the last one is human influence. Unfortunately, most of these are going to have kind of a negative towards them, but that's fine. But are we doing anything good also for this biome, or is it mainly all negative? The grading criteria is below. You've seen that now in this video. But again, it's an opportunity for those of you that might struggle with tests or labs to really up your score. So driving home a point, this is very much not a run-of-the-mill, boring blank poster. Be creative, have fun, have it be colorful, use cotton balls, use twigs, use hot glue, whatever it takes to make sure that you get a vibe for what that biome is like by standing in front of it. And then, of course, as options, you can include, not as options, but you can do a variety of things also with how the information is presented. So we've had some people in the past that have had like a leaf that covered up their information. Then you lift up the leaf and, there's information about the landscape. Or they have, little flap book, if you will, to see the information. So I want you to be creative, and you're graded based on that creativity as well as the thoroughness with this project. And so we want these to be good. Eventually, we will hang these up. I always get feedback from teachers saying how cool these posters are, and we certainly want your guys' class to also be in that same feedback from teachers that we get. So that is our information and our introduction to the Biome poster. You all have a link to this. You have a link to this video as well if you want to revert back to it at all throughout the week. But have fun with the project, and let's make them good.